at the newest stadium in the NFL, and it's Indianapolis. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the goal line. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Again, it's Howard. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
To throw is Bortles. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for it with Howard. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. So, of course, they wanted to find the end zone, but when you go on the road and your first drive results in points, I think you're pretty happy.
You have to be, because you've taken it to the home team in this case. And while you may not have shut up the home crowd, you've quieted them down a little bit. Good way to start.
And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Bridgewater now on 2nd down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition, because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. And it's complete. The tight end, Deion Sims. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Tiger! Let's go! Blue 58! Blue 58!
On second down, Bridgewater again. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field. Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Running with Howard. They find some open field here. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A big pickup there on the run. 39 yards.
I don't care what the game plan was coming in. After these runs,
you're running it, right?
you make sure you keep offensive linemen on the back. They're doing a great job.
Goes without saying, the defense is going to have to adjust to it.
In a big way, and they've got to figure out, do they have to sell out to stop the run, or can they just do it better than what they've done so far?
You can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Now that was a good job by the defense swarming to the football. And you know it's no cinch that you're going to be able to get the ball into the end zone against them. They're number 2 against the run. So what's an offensive coordinator to do? Check your playlist.
This is Howard on second down. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. We've got a 3rd and 11. Throwing his Bortles on third down. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Sharif Floyd in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. We talk about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So that scores now in their first 2 possessions, but it's 6-0. Probably not the kind of scores they were hoping for.
No, not at all, but I think that they've shown that they can have some success against this defense. So they'll go back to the sideline knowing the points are going to be there for the taking.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better. And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up.
Let's go.
A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got a second down at 5 here to start things out.
Let's go.
Now they'll run on the draw. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Bridgewater from the gun on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is, and running back dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. This will be fielded at the 17. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. Jeffrey with a catch left side. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
From the gun on third down, Bortles. And Rudolph has it left side. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it. Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
To throw, it's Bortles. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Cameron Meredith, the intended target. And it's fourth down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And out now come the Vikings. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it'll bring up third down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off. The Bears will put an extra defender in the secondary on third down.
Yep, they're in the nickel. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped, altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it, and now fourth down. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails,
on second down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And that takes us from second to third down. Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. They'll run it now out of the gun. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. And when you draw up a draw play, you want to draw it up like that, right?
Sometimes it takes some fortitude to call that play, because if it doesn't work, it's a lot of angry people waiting in the hole for the runner. In this case, it broke free, a big gain.
From the gun, it's Bortles. That's caught at the 2. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it second and goal.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And now it's second and goal. Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And that'll be incomplete. So second and 10 here. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
We got 3. Blue 58. Blue 58.
Throwing again. Bridgewater on second and 10. And he's got his man on the out route. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Third and 4. To throw is Bridgewater. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on third down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. More from Minneapolis after this.
Let's go. Way 90. Way 90. Force. Tiger.
Bridgewater again. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And again, it's Bridgewater. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Get ready. Way 90. Way 90. Tiger. Get ready. Way 90. Way 90.
On fourth down, they do snap it to Bridgewater. He's got the completion to Strong. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Now Bortles throwing on second down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Calling a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. On first down, Bortles. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Throwing on first down is Bortles. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Eric Kendricks leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz. And the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
He's going to look deep down the field. And that's caught at the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Bortles now to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Jordan Howard in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bears will extend their lead.
And that's a lead that excites.
In that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. And Larry apparently very brief in his report. Thanks anyway, my man, as we're already set for action. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
So how about that one, Charles? We haven't seen that in a while. The illegal forward pass.
The quarterbacks get so much leeway on this play that you're right, Brandon. It is very rare that we see the call come out for a legal forward pass.
Third and long for Bridgewater. And incomplete. Almost intercepted. The D lineman almost had it. Couldn't hang on. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 20. Oh, he shifts past him. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's third down. And the defense will try and pin their ears back and get pressure again here after the sack. It's third down. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Taking it about the 16. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. And now out comes Minnesota. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, That's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them. But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
To throw, Bridgewater. That is caught inside the 5. That one goes for 24 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case,
Alshon Jeffrey, so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL. Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell him, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
And complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
That hits your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Now Bortles. Over the middle here to Rudolph. Still on his feet. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Here's Bortles to throw. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose. And now off to the races down the right side. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that people miss on? That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
Jalen Strong, the intended receiver, and it's second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. And he whips that one incomplete there. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. On third down, Bridgewater. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
Well, let the natural light of today reflect that he has now gotten into the end zone 2 times.
Look at you. You're a little Ralph Waldo Emerson, is that his name?
No, I was just going with the meteorologist. Said it was a day game. I'm here.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
They go with Howard again. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Now, you see these numbers, and a week ago when he struggled, it just seemed like everyone was, the world was closing in on him when he was handed the football. Here, the hole seemed to be opening up.
Yeah, last week it appeared that he was running against 13 or 14 guys, didn't it? And I think last week, they just couldn't get in sync. Blockers, him, no matter what. It was almost like if they blocked it well, he picked the wrong hole to run through. If he picked the right hole to run through, there was just no hole really. People would swarm and knock him down. So what we're seeing this week is everything together, got it figured out, and he just seems sharper. I don't know if it's a better week of preparation or what went into it, but he looks like the guy we know.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL, but we'll make some plays against you.
A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a pickup of 6, and that is going to do it. Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here.
Let's go.
2nd down, Bridgewater. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get him down up past the 15. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Blue 58. Blue 58.
Bridgewater now on 2nd down. And he will find his man on the outside. And down he'll go at the 25. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. And after that rough game last week, you see the improvement here in this one, no doubt. I thought they might defensively take the blueprint and try to hold him down, but whatever they've tried to do, it hasn't worked as well.
And I think the reason it hasn't worked as well is that they found the gaps between coverage. And what I mean by that is ordinarily, with a player of this caliber and stature, try to make sure you're on him right off the line of scrimmage. Bump him, get him off his route. What he's doing, though, is getting off the line of scrimmage, and before the second guy can get involved in the play, the ball's being delivered. That allows him to get upfield and make even bigger plays.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the ball.
For a heavy rush, and down he goes. Lawrence Virgil in there to sack him for a loss of 6. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
Partner, I know the ball security's preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
And we'll see what he can do on the return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for 1st.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. And that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
He was looking for Jordan Howard that time. And it's 4th and 4. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense...
Rashad Perriman off to the races. The 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Rashad Perriman, an 80-yard touchdown. And if the Vikings can take care of business on the extra point, they will have the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it, you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the 4th quarter. You got to feel pretty good as a defense.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen, guys, so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust. So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that of just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
The 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, here's Bridgewater. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Bridgewater on 1st down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. This will be play number 7 on the drive, 3rd and a yard. They come up in an offset eye. Bridgewater. He's got the completion to Strong. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Bridgewater here to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Breshad Perriman, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Franks now on to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. He's back to throw. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They'll look to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So here we go, a third down after the second down pass completion. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. Back to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They had no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
Back to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it a second down. And they're going to speed things up here. And they get up on it quickly and spike it with just a little over 50 seconds to go. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. He'll look to throw. Surveying the field. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now Bortles got to have this one. And he's got some space here. That one good for 21 yards. And they're able to move the chains as they convert on 4th and long.
Now that has to be fun for a head coach to watch. They've been working on clock management since the first day they went to camp. And guess what? It all came together there. A team that understood the situation, got out of bounds, and stopped the clock.
To throw is Bortles. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds, 19 left.
It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football, but today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
Back to throw, Bortles. Over the middle here to Rudolph. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And he'll stop the clock with 5 seconds to go there on the spike. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. One final try now for Bortles. Finding time. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.